Hi guys, today we will check out if it's possible to improve the line out of the Ironman II from Toneking. As you may have seen in the previous video, the line out of the Ironman II does not sound very well for some reason, and I was wondering if my device might be faulty. But some of you guys have confirmed my results, so thanks a lot for that. But what can we do to improve the signal quality? Well, let's try to put a DI box in between the amp and the load box. Here I have the ToneX Capture, which is two devices in one. One side is a reamp box and the other side is a DI box. On the front panel you can connect the speaker out of your amp, and on the back you can connect your load box and your audio interface. Before recording some tracks, let's test the ToneX DI box in a round trip setup to check if there's any latency or changes in tone. For this, the signal goes from my audio interface into the DI box and then back into the audio interface. By comparing the input signal with the output signal, we should get a totally flat line. Well, the curve is indeed pretty flat. There is a little low cut starting at 40 Hz. The curve is not quite perfect, but for guitar tones that's almost irrelevant. I was also able to measure zero latency, which means that the ToneX Capture is fully analog. And that's great. Next, I've tested the line out level neutrality by comparing the signal at a line out level 8 with the signal at line out level of 4. The result should be again a totally flat line. And it is. All frequencies are unchanged. That's exactly how it should be. Next, let's do the tonal neutrality tests. Here you can see the signal chain I've used. And please keep in mind the ToneX Capture is not a load box, so always make sure to connect a load means speaker or load box if a tube amp is connected. Let's move on with the test called tonal neutrality without cabinet. In this scenario, I've compared the line-out signal of my test amp with the line-out signal of the connected DI box. This is possible because the used amp provides a line-out signal which is tapped after the power amp. So the ideal resulting curve of this test should be again as flat as possible. In case you want to get more information about the test scenario, please watch episode 1 of the Ultimate Loadbox Comparison series. You can find all links in the description box below. First, let's take a look at the curve of the Ironman II line out. I would say it's not flat at all. And here is the curve of the ToneX Capture line out. It's a pretty flat curve. There is a slight low cut starting at 40 Hz, which, as we already found out, is caused by the ToneX DI box, but the result is much better. Let's continue with the test called tonal neutrality with cabinet. The resulting curve of this test should be again as flat as possible. In case you want to get more information about the used setup, please watch episode 2 of the Ultimate Loadbox Comparison series. Let's now take a look at the curve. Here you can see the curve of the Ironman II line out, again not very flat. And here is the curve of the ToneX Capture line out, a pretty flat curve similar to the previous test and much better than the line out of the Ironman II. By the way, the ToneX Capture is not sponsored and has been purchased with my own money. I'm also not getting paid for making this video, but you can support me by liking and subscribing to my channel. Thanks a lot for this. Now it's finally time for some real sound comparisons. For this I've recorded some clean mid-gain and high-gain sounds, 3 recordings for each sound. The first is the line out of the Ironman II, the second is the line out of the ToneX Capture, and as a reference, the last is the line out of the X-Load Loadbox from Fractal Audio. So let's start with the clean sound through my ckeck amp. Let's now take a look at the overall response curve. For this we compare the line out of the DI box with the white noise input signal of the amp, which was fed into the power amp via the effects return loop. For more details, simply watch episode 1 of the ultimate Loadbox Comparison. The blue line is the curve we already know, it's the line out of the Ironman II. Let's now add the curve of the ToneX Capture, and as we can see, frequencies below 1 kHz stay almost unchanged, but frequencies above 1 kHz are no longer cut off. And if we compare the white curve with the response curves of other load boxes, we can see that frequencies above 1 kHz are now in the same ballpark. However, for frequencies below 1 kHz, the curve still looks incorrect. Let's summarize. The line out of the Ironman II can be improved by using an external DI box. However, the result is not perfect because the impedance curve of the Ironman is so different in comparison to other load boxes. So if you want to use your Ironman II for recordings, you can get a usable DI signal by using an external DI box, but the result won't be perfect. And if you wonder why I've chosen the ToneX Capture DI box, it's because of the good value you get for around $200. It's a DI box, a reamp box, and the ToneX software, which allows you to run realistic amp simulations on your computer and to capture your own tube amp. And that's great. And if you want me to test that feature, please let me know in the comments section below. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching and see you soon on this channel.